Welcome back to the channel. Bob here, and today we've got another really cool watch in from Boldr Watches. This is the Boldr Expedition. It has yet to launch. This is actually a prototype they were nice enough to send out for a few of us YouTubers to check out. Scott from Watches Galore has done a video on this already. It's going to be going on to Peter Von Panda, then Aaron Dunlap, and Chris Marshall from Marshall Time. So make sure you check out their channels as well. I'll leave links in the description below. The other really cool thing about this watch, this is a field watch, and it has a internal compass bezel, and I just want to show you guys how you can get your bearing with just a watch and the sun. So let's spin the camera around and check it out. Alright guys, so before we jump into the watch, I'm trying to make some improvements here on the channel. I've recently purchased a couple of soft boxes. That's for lighting, so just let me know if there's an improvement here, if it needs to be a little bit brighter, a little bit more toned down. I can make adjustments. Any feedback would be appreciated in the comment section. So as far as the watch itself, this is a prototype. I don't have the display box or paperwork, so we won't be talking about that today. The watch itself is a field style watch, and this thing has a lot more going on than you might notice at first glance when it comes to functions. I'll get into that here in a minute, but I just want to get some of the specs out of the way here. So as far as the case width goes, we have a case width of 41 millimeters. The lug to lug here is 48 millimeters. We have a lug opening of 20 millimeters, and the thickness is 14.5 millimeters. It's a 200 meter water resistance, and we have a really nice double domed sapphire crystal. It's actually sapphire on the display case back here as well. The prototype here is housing the Seiko NH35, but when this launches, it'll actually have the Sellita SW200-1. So for the amount that's going on this dial here, it's actually pretty clean. It doesn't feel that busy to my eye. So first of all, we have both the 12 and 24 hour times marked around the dial. Very handy to have. The date window is located here at 4 o'clock, and we have really nice looking syringe style hands that I just love. I also really like that little pop of orange at the tip of the second hand there. The lume on this thing is pretty killer, so let's hit the lights and check that out here for a second. Okay, so we've got a pretty cool two-tone lume here. It actually serves a purpose and helps differentiate between the 12-hour and the 24-hour time. Lume's pretty good. The blue lume does fade a little bit quicker than the green, but I'm very happy with it so far. So we have an inner rotating bezel. This is a bidirectional bezel, which is operated by the orange marked crown here at the 2 o'clock. It's a screw down crown, and if I just pop it out here and give it a turn, there's just a little bit of resistance there, giving it a nice feel. The cool thing with this bezel is it has two functions. It has both the markings of a dive bezel as well as a compass. I've never had a watch with a compass bezel, so I did a little research on how to use it properly and thought I'd spend a minute to show you guys. Alright guys, so to get an approximate bearing using your watch, there's two things you need. One is you need your watch to be set accurately. It means even if you're in a daylight savings time, you have to bring it back to standard time. The second thing you need is you need to have the sun visible to where you are. It is overcast right here at the moment, and it's going to be for the next few days. So today we're going to be demonstrating this with props. And I know this seems a little funny. I have kids in school, so I'm doing this kind of thing all the time. So let me just set these two aside here for a second, and we'll start. So first of all, the number one step that you have to do is you need to locate the sun. So we'll put the sun right here. The next step is to put your hour hand to towards the sun. That's not up at an angle towards the sun. That is flat to the earth, and point your hour hand to the sun. The last step that you need to do is divide the amount of hours by 2 between where your hour hand is and the 12 o'clock on your watch. So halfway between your hour hand and the 12 o'clock, which is right around 10 here. And If you're in the northern hemisphere, that is going to give you the approximate direction of south. If you're in the southern hemisphere, that'll give you the approximate direction of north. So that is how you get your bearing. This is something that you'll have to do as the day goes on. If you happen to be lost in the woods, every hour to readjust your bearing. And then using a watch like this, you can actually point the south in the direction of our little pencil here, and that just gives you a visual bearing as well. Keep in mind, guys, this is not 100% accurate, and also I should point out, for anybody that happens to be living near the equator, it doesn't work at all. So hopefully that helped explain things a little bit, and I didn't totally botch that. Let's get back to the watch review. The case is black PVD with what looks to be a bead blasted finish. On the other side here, we have a signed polished crown. On the back of the watch, we have our display case back with sapphire crystal. Don't want to touch on this too much today, with this being the prototype and the movement being swapped for the Salida for the launch. The strap is a really heavy-duty feeling strap, but still pretty soft and pliable with solid hardware. Pretty cool looking buckle here, and the stitch work is very well done too. So let me just pop it on wrist here for a second. Alright guys, so I think we've got another winner here from Boldr. Every time I get another watch from them, it seems like they've upped their game. Just love the design, has such a cool look on wrist. If you guys aren't into PVD watches, they also have this coming out in, I believe, a total of 4 versions, 1 PVD and 3 stainless steel. One of them actually has a full loomed dial that looks really cool. So that's going to be it, guys. Really cool watch. Let's take this back outside and wrap up today's video. Alright guys, so a couple of things before I let you go. A lot of you guys are going to be wondering what is the cost on this watch. They haven't quite narrowed down what the price is going to be, so when that happens, I'll either put it in the comment section below and pin it to the top, or put it in the description. The other thing is I might be securing a discount code for you guys, so that'll be in either of those places as well. Make sure you check out the other guys' views on this watch. Everybody sort of has their own little take on these things, so thanks so much for stopping by the channel. It's always appreciated, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.